Welcome back to Legal Services of North Florida's Pro Bono Week celebration. My name is Colleen Mullen. I'm the Director of Pro Bono and Volunteer Engagement at LSNF. I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Pravat Law. Now, to move on to our keynote speech. Justice Jorge Labarga was born in Cuba in 1952. He is married to Zulma Labarga, and they have 2 daughters. He arrived in the United States at the age of 11, where he initially lived with his family in Pahuki, Florida. He graduated from Forest Hill High School in West Palm Beach in 1972 and received his BA in 1976 and his Juris Doctor in 1979, both from University of Florida. Justice Labarga began his legal career in 1979 as an assistant public defender with the Public Defender's Office in West Palm Beach. He was assigned to appellate, misdemeanor, and felony trial divisions. In 1982, he joined the State Attorney's Office in West Palm Beach, where he tried cases ranging from theft to homicide. In 1987, he joined the firm of Cohn, Wagner, Nugent, Roth, Romano, and Erickson, and specialized in personal injury trial work. In 1992, Justice Labarga participated in founding the law firm of Roth, Duncan, and Labarga in West Palm Beach, where he continued to specialize in personal injury litigation and criminal defense. Governor Lawton Chiles appointed Justice Labarga to the Circuit Court of the 15th Judicial Circuit for Palm Beach County in 1996, and in that capacity, he served in the family, civil, and criminal divisions. He also served as the administrative judge of the civil division. In December 2008, Justice Labarga was appointed by Governor Charlie Crist to the 4th District Court of Appeal. On January 6, 2009, he took office on the Florida Supreme Court, after appointment again by Governor Crist. He is the 84th justice to take office at the Florida Supreme Court. In July of 2014, he became the 56th Chief Justice of Florida, and he is the first Cuban American to lead the state judicial branch. He held that office for 2 terms until June of 2018. Justice Labarga, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good day, and thank you for inviting me to take part in the Legal Services Pro Bono Week celebration, and especially in honor of those of you associated with the Legal Services of North Florida. The work of legal services, the cause of access to justice, and pro bono services are all worthy of celebration, and I am glad to be here today to do so. It is a great opportunity to sing the praises of those doing this work and to update you on the work at the Florida Supreme Court. The cause of access to justice and the efforts of Legal Services of North Florida, Florida Legal Services, and the National Legal Services Corporation are familiar and dear to me. During my time on the Supreme Court, and especially during my time as Chief Justice, I was honored to contribute to the efforts of Legal Services Corporation President Emeritus Jim Sandman. I am proud to count him as a friend, and I was pleased to welcome him to Tallahassee in 2019 during one of the last in-person public events of the Access Commission we had before this horrible pandemic. Indeed, much of what I want to say here today is based on the wisdom of Jim Sandman offered during his remarks to the Commission on Access to Civil Justice. Pro bono work, as we all know, is a cornerstone of our responsibility in the legal profession. The Supreme Court has made this plain with its adoption of rules to encourage pro bono service, as well as the annual presentation of pro bono awards from the Florida Bar. Let me take a moment to celebrate the contribution of the President's Pro Bono Award recipients within the area served by the Legal Services of North Florida. In January, we recognized Krista Devine from the First Judicial Circuit, Linwood Arnold Jr. from the Second Judicial Circuit, and Cecile Schoon from the 14th Judicial Circuit. I know these lawyers are the focus of recognition during this week of celebration, and I am glad honoring their work is not limited to a single event. The Pro Bono Awards are an annual highlight of the Supreme Court's work. It is important to mark the work of individuals as well as the performance of the profession as a whole. Earlier this month, we saw the report on how much Florida lawyers contributed, and it is a staggering amount. In the fiscal year 2020-2021, Florida lawyers provided 1.5 million hours of pro bono services, 1.5 million hours, and contributed more than $6.7 million to legal aid programs. The potential value of the contribution of legal services was more than $380 million. That's astonishing. This is cause for celebration. However, there is an important lesson to be taken from those remarkable figures. It is not enough. The need is that great. Given the magnitude of the need and the limitation of resources, Jim Sandman suggested a more focused approach. He told us memorably, our aim should not be, in his words, to boil the ocean. If we try to take on a problem too big to solve with a single solution, we will be frustrated. Instead, Jim encouraged us to turn our attention to high-value actions, targeted solutions. Focus on things that are likely to have impact and be achievable is critical to the work, Jim told us. After 7 years since its inception, the Florida Commission of Access to Civil Justice has dutifully addressed a number of issues involved with the delivery of legal services. It is now time to look into ways to go to work on these issues. Accordingly, last month, Chief Justice Kennedy took action to transition the Florida Commission on Access to Civil Justice to a work group on access to justice, which will operate under the umbrella of the Judicial Management Council, the workhorse of the Supreme Court of Florida. The judges, lawyers, clerks, lawmakers, state officials, and business leaders who made up the commission worked very hard to find ways to narrow the gap that keeps far too many of our poor and working class neighbors from meaningful access to civil justice. The task before them, before all of us really, is too big for just the legal profession to complete. Many lawyers, including you here today, have dedicated their careers and indeed their lives to the challenge of helping people get meaningful access to civil justice. Lawyers on the front line today continue to work to help people seeking justice, and they are truly heroes. Judges and court staff do what they can ethically to help people who call and come into our courthouses with legal problems. But the problem persists. Too many people are isolated without help, legal help, for life-changing problems. And not just poor people. This problem stretches well into the middle class. The work group on access to civil justice, created by Justice Kennedy, will pursue projects that will focus on improvements that can be made within the court system to assist self-help represented litigants and support the judicial branch in ensuring effective access to justice for all. In 2014, we created the original Commission on Access to Civil Justice to study the needs, the legal needs of poor and moderate income people. They, like all of us, sometimes face family, employment, and housing issues that need to be resolved in court. To start, Chief Justice Kennedy's administrative order directs the work group to develop educational materials that will assist self-represented litigants in participating in court proceedings that are conducted using remote technology. The wave of the future that, thanks to the pandemic, is already here. The order also directs the new work group to address electronic filing by self-represented litigants. Currently, those who represent themselves may file electronically, but are not required to do so. The order notes there are benefits to electronic filing, particularly for self-represented litigants, including access to do-it-yourself Florida interviews, an initiative begun by the Judicial Management Council and going forward in collaboration with the e-filing portal. This initial direction represents an approach in accord with the charge Jim Sandman presented to us in December of 2019. That is, take on achievable goals, simplify the system. And so we will give it our all. I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to express my thanks to all who worked on the Access Commission. I cannot possibly name all of the people who are important to the work we are celebrating here, but I want to highlight a few. First, I want to recognize Greg Coleman. Greg and I go way back to when we were both assistant state attorneys in Palm Beach County. Greg served as president of the Florida Bar and took on the cost of access to justice along with me as Chief Justice. I also want to thank P.K. Jameson, who served as state court administrator while I was Chief Justice and was critical to the commission's creation. There were so many others, including former Attorney General Pam Bondi, who participated and was really involved in the creation of the Access Commission, and former Chief Judge Bertie Soto from the 11th Judicial Circuit, Miami-Dade. I especially want to recognize Leslie Powell Boudreau, who you all know as the Executive Director of Legal Services of North Florida. She has served on the previous Access Commission, and I am very pleased to hear that she has agreed to serve on the new Access Work Group. So thank you, Leslie, for your dedication, for all that you do to help the lofty goal of access to civil justice to all. Our state will be better with its people better off when they have more access to justice. It should be justice for all. We will be better for it. And today, I join you in celebration of pro bono service. I want to thank you for the invitation to celebrate this important work. I want to thank you for everything all of you have done to make the Access Commission possible and all the work that went into it. We have now looked at a number of issues during the past 7 years. We know what they are, and we're now ready to move forward to do something about it with a workhorse work group. And I appreciate your attention and your continued commitment to access to justice. I hope this pandemic thing is over with soon, so I can actually have these meetings live in person with you. This is my favorite part of my job. My favorite part of having been Chief Justice was to travel all over this big, huge state and meet people from all walks of life in this state. Love the Panhandle. I loved down South Florida, Central Florida. It was really a joy. And I was chief for 4 years, and I miss every second of it. So thank you, and hope to see you soon.
Hi, this is Brian Stewart, Director of Philanthropy here at Legal Services of North Florida. We're glad you could join us today. Now, we couldn't provide the services we do without the support of the community and without the support of you. Now, whether through volunteer hours, partnerships, donations, or advocacy, your ongoing and relenting passion for access to justice is the fire that fuels LSNF. Now, this week of events is supported by several of those wonderful partnerships, and I want to make sure everybody knows who they are. So first, I'd like to thank the Walton County Bar Association for their sponsorship, which helped LS&F provide special gifts for volunteers across the 1st and 14th Judicial Circuits. I'd also like to say a thank you to our live stream sponsors. Of course, you're watching today. They've generously supported this 4-day virtual series during Pro Bono Celebration Week. Thank you to Sarah S. Walton and Philip A. Bates, PA. That's our Monday live stream sponsor during the celebration week. Next, now they're always here for us, and we appreciate Phipps Reporting, who are our Tuesday sponsors. Now on Wednesday, our supporter of Pro Bono Celebration Week is Pravat Law. Thank you so much for your generosity and support. And finally, a huge thank you to all of our partners at the Escambia Santa Rosa Bar Association for their sponsorship, of course, for the Thursday live stream, but also for their ongoing advocacy and support of the work that we do in the community. So thank you to everyone who's given their time and donations to help make this year's Pro Bono celebration a huge success. Thanks for joining us.